Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, one of 4 men shot in Clarendon attack has died. The police are reporting that one of the 4 men shot in Slime Lane, Curito Hill, Clarendon on Wednesday has succumbed to his injuries. He is the 32-year-old Marvin Harriott, an event decorator of Slime Lane. Harriott was admitted in critical condition in hospital. Sleuths had theorized that the attack was a reprisal for the February murder of a man in the same community, stemming from an alleged ongoing feud over the construction of a shop, which has been blamed for causing a decline in revenue at another establishment. According to reports, about 8:45 p.m. on Wednesday, the men were at a shop when a white Nissan Tida motorcar pulled up, and the 2 men armed with handguns fired several shots before fleeing the scene. The injured men were rushed to hospital. St. Elizabeth man arrested after firearm seized at Manchester wake. A man was arrested and a firearm seized at a wake in Comfort Hall, Manchester on Sunday morning. Police said about 2:14 a.m. the man, a 29-year-old construction worker of Castleton district in Balaclava, St. Elizabeth, was among a group of people at a wake in Comfort Hall when he was reportedly observed acting suspiciously. Police said he was searched and a Glock pistol with 9 rounds of ammunition was reportedly taken from his waistband. He was taken into custody and is to face an identification parade. Man accused of setting ex-girlfriend's house on fire. A man has been charged after he allegedly set fire to the home of an ex-girlfriend on Shallow Road in Kingston on Monday, June 17. Charged with arson and 2 counts of attempted murder is 46-year-old Nicholas Rhodes, otherwise called Nick, of Kingston 20. Reports from the Hunts Bay police are that about 6:30 a.m., Rhodes went to the home of a woman who he had a relationship with in an effort to rekindle the relationship. It is alleged that when Rhodes' request was not met, he locked himself inside the house with the woman and her daughter and set the house on fire. Neighbors reported hearing the woman's cry for help and summoned the police. The occupants of the house were transported to the hospital for treatment. Rhodes was subsequently charged. His court date is being arranged. Man accused of pulling gun during dispute charged. The police have charged a man who allegedly pulled a firearm and threatened a man during an altercation at his job on South Camp Road in Kingston on Friday, June 21. He is 28-year-old Kowima Williams, otherwise called Cuomo, of Castle Heights, Barbican in Kingston. Williams has been charged with assault at the common law, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports from the Elletson Road police are that about 12:35 p.m., Williams and another man were at work when a dispute developed which became physical. During the dispute, Williams allegedly pulled a Colt .45 semi-automatic pistol with a magazine loaded with 2.45 cartridges from his waist, pointed it at the man, and threatened him. A struggle ensued between them both, and the man called out for help, reports said. The police were summoned, and Williams was arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. St. Catherine businesswoman charged with fraud. St. Catherine businesswoman 41-year-old Stacey McFarlane has been charged with fraudulent conversion. Reports from the Spanish Town police are that McFarlane of Eltham Park, Spanish Town, was paid a total of $1,100,000 for the leasing of a commercial building and a car wash. The agreement was for the property to be handed over on May 1, 2024. However, the agreement was not honored. A request for a refund was made, but McFarlane was unable to produce the funds. According to the police, investigators further revealed that she converted the payment to her use and benefit. A report was made and she was subsequently charged. Her court date is being finalized. A kind and a spontaneous gesture in court. The number 2 courtroom in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court was moved to applause and expressions of awe when a schoolgirl and the person she is charged with assaulting did what no one saw coming. The two were waiting on their case to be recalled on Friday after returning from on-the-spot mediation to see if they could resolve their differences that brought them to court in the first place. They were listening as the Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks imposed a $1,000 fine on a young man who apparently did not have the money to pay. As the man stood before Crooks looking hopeless, the two girls blurted out almost in unison, "We'll pay it." As all eyes shot to them, they repeated the offer while holding up their hands. The court then erupted into cheers at the kind gesture, with even accused men who were in custody in the holding area of the courtroom registering their approval of the kindness by clapping wildly. As a show of appreciation, the young man who was fined turned to the girls and bowed slightly before turning to their aunt and grandmother and doing the same. Even Judge Crooks was moved by the kind act and smiled approvingly. He said that every time he gets disheartened by much of what he sees in court, actions such as those of the young women remind him of how kind Jamaicans can be. As for their own matter, the young ladies told the court that they had resolved their own differences. They apologized to each other, declared that they are now friends, and sealed it with a hug before being dismissed by the court. All the top gangsters in Jamaica are in prison, says Bailey. Several persons who are leading figures among the island's main criminal gangs are currently incarcerated, according to Deputy Commissioner in charge of crime and security Fitz Bailey. In fact, the senior crime fighter said all the island's top gangsters have been locked away in the island's prisons or detention facilities, bringing a halt to their nefarious activities. Never in the history of Jamaica we have seen so many gang members, persons who are called the influencers of crime, now in prison, declared Bailey during a panel discussion at last week's staging of the 10th Biennial Diaspora Conference in Montego Bay, St. James. All the top gangsters in this country are in prisons, behind the bars, he said, as members of the audience clapped loudly. The senior lawman said improvements in the Jamaica Constabulary Force's investigative skills have helped to improve the security of the nation's citizens. Bailey pointed to statistics which showed that in 2018, gang murders accounting for 80% of all murders in Jamaica. Currently, that has been reduced to 63%, so the strategy we have embarked on as a law enforcement body is working. Jamaica on a whole is safe. In fact, our crime rate is mainly concentrated in some specific defined areas in the inner city areas, so the majority of Jamaica is actually safe, Bailey told a member of the diaspora who expressed concerns about crime. He also stated that it has been through capacity building, training, and the use of technology why we the police are seeing the results we are seeing. In recent years, 3 leaders of top local criminal organizations have been among the island's top gangsters who have been convicted of serious crimes, while others have been detained and are awaiting trial. Among the top gangsters are Tesha Miller, the alleged leader of the Klansman gang, Eushance Wilson, the convicted leader of the Eushance Wilson gang, and Andre Blackman Bryan, the convicted leader of the Wandon faction of the Klansman gang. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.